Are we ready? Everyone having a good day? Are you prepared? Because I am prepared. And by being prepared, I mean this is what my screen fucking looks like because I have done literally no work to prepare for this at the fuck all. Right? So, again, just got home feeling like I actually, I feel like I look a lot better today. Like everything about this. Look at this. Look at this. Do you see this hair? Gorgeous, lovely hair, unbrushed from just now coming out from under my hat. And also from the hair ties. You know, just the way things work. Um, I, yeah. As far as the timestamp things go, Ian, it's it's actually a pretty decent amount of work that I have to do because when I start things, like for example, I just started. So coming over here, we've got, we'll just put that at 7. Um, uh, rambling intro 0 boop, 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 boop. Okay, so we got about that, and then yeah, one of the things I have to do every single time I want one of these rough timestamp things coming in. Let's just drag this over here so you can see. Is while I am going over things on stream, I have to keep track of this time right here, and then I come all the way over here. I have to edit, and then I have to put the timestamps in as we go, or preempt them like I did today, and then when I get done with the stream, there's a whole load of work I have to do on the back end of things to make sure that the timestamps upload properly so that they don't freak out. I have to do some work to make. I'm trying to get it to do a break in stuff like here we'll just on the Vosh pit. It's not on Vosh's main channel. Oh. Okay, so
Few or no substantiated.
One of the things I'm working on doing is not just having timestamps. So you see this, how it's got the sections. They're called chapters. And I'm trying to figure out how to get those to work. Because I think, yeah, see, he's got his stuff here and it works, but mine for some reason is not. I'm subbing to this one. This is the editor for Vosh, so I'm subbing because
Supportive facts.
Now, that is the thing that I'm trying to do there. Mostly for you, Ian. That's actually why I started doing it, was so that you and Boris, if Boris is here, I wanted y'all to be able to get to whatever section you wanted. It helps other viewers as well. But if you just getting you to whatever section of the video you want to watch and dip out on or whatever, that's the main reason I did it. Is because I knew that y'all were busy as far as being able to as far as having no real time to just sit here and watch me stream. Like, why the fuck would you just sit here and watch me stream if you don't have to? Why the fuck do people even watch me stream? I'm really curious about that one, actually. I do it because I like it. I don't know why people tune into it. I know why some of y'all do. You're my friends in real life, but outside of that, I have no real idea. Anyways, let's go ahead and start the bit because we're already over time to start talking about cops. I'm pretty sure that's the first section. Yes, cops are bad. Okay, so everybody here knows already, at least I hope so, about the levels of police brutality here in America, the systemic racism, the disparities between arrest rates for white people and non-white people as a general rule, but mostly pertaining to black people being arrested and charged with higher sentences more likely, more often, blah, 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 blah. All of the shit that cops do that we already know is actually bad. However, there's a whole slew of things that cops do that people don't seem to really know is bad. Yeah, like, even though I've got this one bit here that stays strained off like super far, but whatever. Uh, there are things that cops do that are illegal. People don't seem to realize what they are. Wait, can I just hide this? Yay, I can. So I only have the two boxes that I need open. Um, for example, earlier today on my way home, I'm driving along. I come across a green light. I start to go through this green light. Cop pulls up to the red light on the other side of the thing. Doesn't want to fucking stop, so he just turns on his lights and dips. He didn't have him coming down the road. He pulls up to stop at this red light, slows down, stops, turns on the lights, dips through, turns off the lights, keeps going. This is illegal. Across the entire country, this is illegal. Cops, they are supposed to have their lights on the entire way from before the intersection, through the intersection, on the way to head towards the thing. There's very specific circumstances where cops can turn off their lights and their sirens, and that's usually when they're having to sneak up on a suspect for something. Now, I disagree with this as a general practice, but there's some nuance to it. It is not okay for an officer to have his lights on, to go through an intersection, to turn them off. So when I called today to report this as a thing, of course, because I'm going to, like, fuck them. I hate the police. I'm going to report the police. But you can only report police internally. So you can only call the police to report the police. So I get on the phone, and the person who I get a hold of, I tell them what happened and explain to them that this is actually illegal. And they lied to my face. Just directly. Oh, somebody jumped off of the bridge into the river and they were going to deal with that. Motherfucker, he can leave his lights on the entire way to there. Because if they're already in the river, then that person having their lights on isn't going to cause them to jump into the river, to back down from it, or whatever, because they already fucking jumped. On top of that, I'd just passed the river. And if that was the case, I'd have seen a lot more activity in the area. And there was no activity in the area. So I was lied to directly by the police department of Oklahoma City. And I hope these motherfuckers tune in to watch this, because you don't understand the situation. You are lying to somebody who knows what the fuck y'all are about, who knows how frequently you lie, who knows how frequently you all commit abuses, how much you abuse your own authority that I never submitted to. I was born here, so I have to submit to your authority. No, fuck you, buddy. So, what do we do about this? I encourage every single person, if you see a cop pull up to a light, and that light is red on their end, and your light is green, you start to go through, and they turn on their lights to be able to dip through it, fuck that cop. They could wait that 0.2 seconds. If they run into you, it is their fault. Just because they had their fucking lights on to pass through a light, no. Doesn't matter. Your lights weren't on until you started to run through a fucking red light at an intersection. There was already somebody there. The cop that did that today almost ran into me because I was in that intersection when they decided to do this. What was I supposed to do? Back the fuck up? No. I keep going. If that cop had hit me, that would have caused massive amounts of problems, and they wouldn't hear the end of it. I was already not in a good mood because this is not the first time today that I've had cops doing things like this. If you live in Oklahoma, uh, an act relating to law enforcement vehicles making declaration of danger to public health and safety, prohibiting use of municipal police departments of unmarked cars for routine traffic enforcement, stating exceptions. Now, if you dip through red lights in your car and you run into another car and you try and take off and an undercover pulls you over, that is an exception. But if you're just speeding a little bit, this right here is the Oklahoma law. You can just type in Oklahoma police unmarked car, and this is the first thing that popped up for me. It's the short title. This is a law that states that cops are not allowed to pull you over in unmarked vehicles except for very extreme circumstances. Because of how many. Let me just point this out, okay? Wow, you can just buy police lights off of the fucking internet? Oh, wow. You can just buy a fucking pseudo police uniform. Oh wow. You can hook up a police siren into your car and you can buy all of this for like $250. Hmm. Hmm. I wonder if that might cause some fucking problems. Maybe there's some sort of law about using undercover police vehicles. Yeah, which relates to falsely personating certain persons, modifying means of falsely personating a law enforcement officer, modifying penalty, providing for codification, providing an effective date, and declaring an emergency. So, if you live in Oklahoma and a cop tries to pull you over in an unmarked car, you make sure you note that is an unmarked vehicle. You take whatever ticket they give you, you take that up to the courthouse, and you go, I'm not paying this. I was pulled over illegally. The officer broke the law to try and pull me over. This is not a valid ticket. He can go fuck himself. You can go fuck yourself. It's not getting paid. It gets written off. Fuck off. And guess what? By law, they have to dismiss the entire charge because that cop was not supposed to do the thing that he fucking did. Super easy. I don't know. I'm both irritated but feel kind of good today. Like I'm feeling good about myself and bad about the state of the world. You know? Whee! Bouncy hair. All right. Yep. It's official. I'm getting way too comfortable expressing myself on stream. Beep 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 beep. Okay. Let's go ahead and get some shit started. Because police, fuck them. They're terrible. I hate them, and none of them are worth anything to me at all. Just not. I've been following you for a while, Flora. You know, it's a good question. To answer thing, you know what? Is there a meaningful distinction between anti-black and white supremacist? You know, that one's hard to come across a good answer to. No, true love is not real. Why? The Destiny discourse. The streamer, not the game. Destiny doesn't like the idea of getting food poisoning. And this is What are you showing? Motherfucker, if you think you're gonna get food poisoning from this one, fuck out of here. You're not gonna get food poisoning from this. You're definitely not gonna get food poisoning from this, and it's gonna taste worse. %3% white. Oh, more Cuba stuff. Right. Because Shinji is based as fuck. And yeah, Cuba has deployed aircraft, helicopters and jets, and also is bringing out howitzers in response to the protests. Um, yeah, it's not a difficult decision. We need to remove the embargo, the blockade, and the sanctions. We need to leave Cuba the fuck alone entirely. But because this actually does tie into something, because Shinji has massive amounts of takes on this, being a Cuban person. Let me see if I can just find the thing. I don't want to reveal any like threads or anything that I'm in necessarily. I did report somebody who was just being super fucking Nazi racist shit on Twitter, by the way. But it's this, okay? Hassan defending the use of the G slur. It's not identical to cracker, redneck, or even Karen. It is not identical. This is a huge miss by Hassan. The G slur is something meant to dehumanize Cubans. Like outright. Calling somebody a cracker isn't meant to dehumanize them necessarily. It's a backlash response from all the fucking horrid racism that white people have shown to black people. That's what this is. It is a response to the racism that they've endured. So this right here is a bad take from Hassan. As I say, redneck. That's not a racial slur. You have to be fucking 2 IQ brain dead levels of bullshitting to think that redneck is a racial slur, and Karen definitely isn't a racial slur. The most you could say is that it might be mildly sexist. So, Hassan coming out with the dumbest fucking take I have ever heard from Hassan. Ever. Ever. I said, no, bad take. This person scrolls in and says, Puerto Rican here. He's right. G-slur is tame compared to what Cuban exiles call Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, and pretty much every other Latin American, especially if they're not white. My point is that using the G-slur is racist. That's it. That's my entire point. And this whataboutism fucking dipshit. I don't want to call him a dipshit. This person who does not understand what I'm trying to say. This person clearly doesn't. So I said, we're not talking about in comparison. We're talking about it being racial slur or racist, which it is. I'm not saying, hey, just because this is a racial slur, it's okay for the treatment that they give you. No. I'm just saying that the G slur, is racist. It's not identical to redneck, cracker, or Karen. It is not identical in the slightest, okay? So this person, already coming in bad faith, because they're trying to say that using this racial slur is tame in comparison. I don't care about the fucking comparisons, okay? I don't. At least not in this conversation. I'm not here to compare it. I'm not here to say that, using the G slur is fine, or that as a result of calling them the G slur, them lashing out with far worse attitudes and shit is okay. I'm not saying any of that. I'm merely saying that saying the word is racist. It is a racial slur. Okay. We know what it's meant. Okay? So I said, no. They said, even if you're right, you're calling Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, and other Latinos racist for delegitimizing hardcore, hysterical Cuban reactionaries with a word and weighing in on their side. No, I am not calling any of these other groups racist. I am saying that using the G slur is a racial slur. That's it. If you use it, you are doing a racism. That doesn't make you overall a racist. Okay? There's There's a distinction. You can do something or say something that can be racist without you fully being a racist. However, that's not very common. Usually, the people who are using racial slurs and shit are just racist. Usually. But that's not always the case. Nothing here, nothing that I've said, nothing in this thread says from me, oh, yeah, no, it's perfectly okay for them to go and be fucking shitters. The Cubans can go and be fucking shitters and racists against every other Latin group just because of the fact that they're reactionaries and they get called the G slur. That's not something I said, okay? Not at all. So if you read this, and me saying no bad take because I'm saying that it is actually a racial slur and that it's not identical to cracker, redneck, or Karen, and you feel the need to come in here and say, oh well, you're just calling all other Latin groups, Mexicans and uh, Puerto Ricans and every other Latin group, you're calling them racist because they use the no, no, that is not at all what I said. All right, that can be racist. The G slur can be racist, and also I can condemn the horrendous treatment that reactionary Cubans have given to other Latin groups. That is a thing that I can and do. Yeah, I also can't blame them. Here we go. Thank you, Commandant Shinji. Marxist-Leninism is a failed ideology, and people need to stop pretending like it's not. Fucking based. Marxist-Leninism is a failed ideology. It has never led anywhere positive. There is not an existing country on this planet that adopted Marxism-Leninism that is doing well today. Even setting aside American imperialism, no country that claims Marxist-Leninism ideology is doing well or has historically done that well. I mean, you can look at the USSR, which was, if we're being completely honest here, the USSR was Leninist, not Marxist-Leninist. Marxist-Leninism is an ideology that Stalin created. But they've all failed. The USSR's GDP was up, their literacy rate and shit went up, but overall, the workers were still being exploited. There was still not democratic ownership. There was authoritarianism. There was the gulags. There was dekulakization. There was the Holodomor. There was the fact that Stalin tried to ally with Hitler during World War II for a while. Then, yeah, Union Wave over here, who, specifically because you are being based as fuck, motherfuckers on Twitter will say social democracy is the moderate wing of fascism, but then the KDP allies with the NSDAP. Yeah, the Communist Party and Russia trying to ally, or yeah, KDP. Is that one the? I'm pretty sure that one is. Oh yeah, the Communist Party of Germany. And they turned around and allied with the National Socialist uh, Dutch Workers' Party. Say, look. Oh yeah, National Socialist DAP, National Socialist German Workers' Party, National Socialiste Deutsch Arbeit I don't know how you actually would pronounce that. But yes, it's absolutely true. The KDP and the Nazis allied up. Hitler and Stalin were trying to ally up. Why is it that the Marxist Leninist wing of all of this shit constantly allies with fascists? Like, Tankies and fascists go hand in hand with each other. Constantly. They will always. They always do. And they will straight up come out and be like, huh, uh, the only reason we'll ally with the fascists is because the anarchists are standing in the way. Motherfucker, the anarchists agree with you on way more than the fucking fascists do, and as soon as you get rid of the anarchists, the fascists, who will have weakened your side of things as they go, will be able to turn around and kill you too. You will not survive because you are claiming left-wing ideology. And fascists don't like that shit. They will kill you, they would kill me. You would kill me because you ally with fascists. That's what Marxist-Leninists do. It's what Tankies do. Are they good for some things, as I said yesterday? Yes, I will hold to that. There are some things that they are good at doing. But for the most part, they're fucking worthless as far as political engagement. Just just keep in mind, okay? Gotta put the Vosh Rad back in my profile. It's just fucking annoying. Why are people sending me Discord links? That is not. Why am I getting sent Discord links? I'm not gaming right now. Huh. I don't know. I get a little antsy right now, but yeah, thing that gets me on a little bit of irritation more with the YouTube side of things than with what I'm about to describe. But I'll literally be sitting here starting up a stream, and some of my IRL friends who subbed to the channel just to be able to see if I'm going live, so they don't call me while I'm live. I go live. About 15 minutes later, they call me while I'm live. I'm like, hello, and they're like, hey, what are you doing? I'm streaming right now. Oh, I didn't get the notification. What the fuck, YouTube? Send out notifications for when I'm live. You send out tweets when I'm live. Like, fuck. Inform my friends when I'm streaming so that they don't have to call and ask if I'm streaming. It's an irritant. Mostly because, I'll be in the middle of something. I'll be in the middle of going through a sentence or going over something and get a phone call from somebody who should have gotten a notification that I'm live. I mean, Ian shows up consistently. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they hit the bell to allow notifications through. They said they did. I know one of them definitely did because I showed them how to do it on my channel so that they would get the notifications. I mean, it's not like I'm uploading 60, 70 fucking videos a day, so. sorry. What the fuck did they even say that got people pissed? Fucking true. Is this a copy pasta? Oh, I bet that's a Destiny tweet. Yep, it was. It was a Destiny tweet. Stephen Bennell. This right here. Just so you know. That was a fucking banger tweet. Don't be friends with me or orbit me if you were this fucking sensitive. I don't play into the lefty snowflake sensitive playground shit. Go back to whatever Twitter shithole you came from, loser. Great Destiny copy pasta. That's all Destiny's good for now is being copy pasta or putting out absolute dog shit takes. Ah, I need y'all. This is group activity, okay? There's a few of you here. Come like this tweet. I'm tweeting directly to Joe Biden. Yes, a lot of people die from drug overdose. Yes, we know this. Now I have to know. Stop. Stop. Fuck. Okay. It's not banned. It's just somebody went in and hacked the account and changed pronouns for this individual. Damn. Wow. That tells me everything I need to fucking know. And I really need to not have Twitter homepage open on there, because might get my entire channel fucking nuked because of it. Ugh. Of course they didn't. Alright, let me just pull this over here. I did not say to full screen. Did it really? Yo, this seed though. Oh my god. No. Okay. This is a huge departure from anything we're talking about at the moment. This scene, Luffy help me, Nami asking Luffy to help her escape from Arlong to be able to take back her village and shit, take her island back. This scene broke me so fucking bad. I sobbed like a 6-year-old girl who stubbed her toe and then got told no, she can't have ice cream. I lost it. Ooh, wait, what?
I never once attacked Vash. I never said his name. I never said his fundraiser was bad. I was specifically
just like you never called me a former nationalist.
By the way,
just like you never said that I was.
I never mentioned Bosch when I talked about the charity fundraising being done on a prominent live stream, raising $250,000 for the PCRF. I didn't say Bosch. Now that we're past the
charity streams and things like that.
Oh, this is 4 minutes.
They're self-promotion vehicles primarily.
We can listen to this while we play.
And I don't like that. A real charity stream would be either somebody who doesn't stream often, streaming just for the purpose of doing the charity stream, or streaming on someone else's channel, hopefully in order to support that organization. You know, that would be a true charity stream. But a lot of these charity streams are self-aggrandizing fests where you get a bunch of people to raid into you out of solidarity for the charity. You promote yourself. You virtue signal as if you are a good person. And a lot of the money that goes to charities goes toward the executive director, the finance director, the fundraising machinery.
Now we're getting the little bit.
As a leftist,
yeah, okay, now we get the little.
I find most charities to be highly problematic, and don't like the liberal mentality of philanthropy.
Yeah. Okay, yep. This is Mike from PA, just being a weaselly little snake the way he does. Although, let's be honest, I am glad that Mike is left on Twitter and Twitch and Nick Fuentes is not. We got a W there. That's right. Nazi, kicked off. Idiot lefty, left on. I'm fine with somebody who I find to be politically misinformed and ignorant of a lot of things. Like, I'm fine with that being left on, because at least he's pushing for class consciousness in the appropriate manner. as well as, defending trans people and, the LGBTQIA plus uh, community in general, as well as, pushing back against racism as a general thing, although there's kind of some yikesy things from Mike. I, for objectivity, so that I'm not being a super biased person, there's also a lot of yikesy shit from Vosh. This guy over on the screen. He's over here. He's like up here a little bit. Yeah, that guy. He's had some yikesy stuff before too. Now it's like he's being like spicy and stuff, trying to evoke responses, and it's not good. But his intent is different than Mike, who, for example, when talking about relevant, a black guy, ooh, text message. He came out and when trying to make fun of him, he saw another. He saw what was it, the 96 DNC or whatever, uh, and there was a black guy dancing. I think it was actually Steve Urkel. I don't know. I didn't get a good look. All I know is because I was driving and somebody called him out on it. He said I didn't know All Relevant was there, and I know All Relevant's black. So I glanced at the screen and I'm like, what? And I see somebody who, I mean, they got the suspenders and the glasses and kind of the same haircut. And they're what, in their like 30s or whatever at this point. So yeah, but this is just black dude dancing, and he calls and he's like, oh, I didn't know All Relevant was at the DNC in '96, which is already like, I don't know. And then somebody called him out on it later and was like, I didn't expect you to make a racist joke, and he's like, what? I was calling him an Urkel. Because I mean that's how this dude was dressed. To be fair. I wonder. Uh, uh, Couch punch. Oh my god, yes. Everybody's making, yeah, everybody makes fun of Mike. Not what I want. Wait, what? Demon Mama roasts Mike? I have to know.
Where's Mike from PA? Ah, here we go.
Good.
All right, we're going to react. Here we go. Here we go. It's time to learn what the fuck happened. We got a lot of content to get through, so get comfy. Imps, get comfy. Make sure you've liked the stream. Make sure you've fucking subscribed. If you want to throw your donos to me, do it. Other than that, we got to fucking figure this out.
The only reason I'm going over this is because I love listening to people tear into Mike from PA. Is it a toxic thing for me? Yes, I recognize this, but I just like seeing people expose him. I do. I love it. Punk Science Group. Mm, okay.
What is this lighting? Mike, what is this lighting? What is this fucking lighting? Okay. No, no, no. Everybody, stop. Stop, me. Demon Mama, stop. Mama, stop. You're jumping in too strong, too quickly. Okay? Let's find out. Let's not be judgmental, okay? Let's find out what the fuck happened. Let's hear what Mike has to say, then we'll go start at the investigation. Let's do it. Live! You are witnessing the Drama Mama investigation progress, and this is not a Drama Mama because I didn't get to prepare for it. Let's do this.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mike from PA, and we are here to talk about Bo of the Fifth Column. Bo is a famous lefty YouTuber with over 600,000 subscribers, known for his big unkept beard and his southern drawl. Bo has been growing in YouTube and becoming a larger and larger influence on how the left is perceived, both on this platform and in much of the discussions of leftism on the internet as a whole. Recently, I was disturbed to find out that he had a checkered history, and his past behavior in exploiting workers, vulnerable people, including female immigrants, young women.
Do you read that?
God, Mike has no charisma. I'm sorry, Mike has negative charisma. Hey, thank you so much, Bricks. I appreciate that a lot.
19 years old, brought here to work for less than minimum wage, and he personally profited. Bo has not shown any contrition whatsoever for these actions.
Crave, thank you so much for these 6 gifted tier 1 subs. Really appreciate it. Bo is an ex-conservative, right? That would make sense. Yeah. Bo talked about this pretty openly.
Video is not intended to cancel someone, to be a purity test, or do anything to damage the leftist community as a whole.
No. Like purity tests, gatekeeps, tries to cancel. He does all of the stuff when he's like, I'm not trying to do this. That's all he does. See, I'm not here to have people, like, cancel their favorite creator or whatever, unless your favorite creator is a terrible piece of shit, like Nick Fuentes, Steven Crowder.
I'm making this video.
I'm perfectly fine getting them deplatformed and canceled and whatever. What I want you to do is hold your favorite content creator to a higher standard. Push them to do better on things. Now, I know Vosh won't give up some things. I'm perfectly fine with him doing the performative insulting to people. I think that's fine. The general person he's debating needs it. He's usually debating somebody who is either a Nazi who needs to be, like, belittled to pay any sort of attention at all, or instead of a Nazi, he's debating a Tankie who act the exact fucking same, and so they need the same treatment. The issue comes when that behavior starts to bleed through, because sometimes Vosh has a bad habit of doing similar kind of debate strategies, like the way he's interacting with people, on people who aren't Nazis or Tankies. See, his debate with Mel, he actually was, some people said he was aggressive with her and came in mad, but he was actually extraordinarily restrained in that discussion, as opposed to what it would have been if he was debating, Infrared. Although with Infrared, he just laughed at him most of the time because that's all that person deserves. Hakeem was actually very, like, kind and respectful in their discussion, which is why I'm pretty sure he titled that one. I don't even care about this one. Talking with Hakeem, because he didn't debate Hakeem.
Conversation that I want to enter into, and I think this is just a generally interesting topic, is the reform and revolution, not reform versus revolution, because I think that is an unfair dichotomy to put. I think people who are only for reform are wrong, and I think people who only put emphasis on revolution are equally wrong. I think that there is room for both of these to, depending on the local circumstances.
Based Hakeem answer. This discussion actually did propel Hakeem higher. It only got 124,000 views. But he linked Hakeem's channel here. And if you look, this discussion happened January 4th, 2021. See what I mean? Fucking phone calls while I'm streaming. No, that is not the right Hakeem. The Finnish Bolshevik is wrong about a bunch of shit, so. Oh god, Bay Area. Bay Area ML is one of the biggest dipshits I've seen on Twitter. This this is not Hakeem. No. Why is it not pulling up Hakeem? No, I want. Yeah, I want Hakeem. This is not the Hakeem. Why the fuck? Okay, I guess I need to. Copy link address. Paste. Go. There we go. This is what I wanted. Oh, he's live. Okay. So, January 4th. He jumped up 48, 68, 11,000 over the December and January. January he got 11,200. Those were his big spikes. I don't know what he did in December. We just go to videos and go back 8 months. Death Toll of Capitalism, I think, is the video. Actually, did he upload? he didn't even upload the conversation. Yeah, I don't know. Hakim's method is fucking weird. He put Vosh is so fucking wrong about, well, everything, but specifically Marx and Lenin. No. Yeah, I noticed he did not. He didn't put the discussion that he had with Vosh on here. He didn't record it and put it up here. I wonder why. Because he looks amicable here.
And the development of or the state of class consciousness amongst
leftists, or at the very least, they could be like Bernie Sanders-esque sock dems who like signal socialism every time they open their mouth. That's what I dream of. But none of that should come at the expense of the development of organic working class organizations. I only wish that we had a country capable of allowing people to develop those relations. Unions can't function right now. And with the way our police state works, it'd be really, really, really difficult for like a Black Panther Party-esque thing to rise up again. People aren't willing to risk themselves the way they were back then. It's not the 60s anymore. I think we need something pivotal to change. And my hope is that we can extract something like that. Maybe a policy allowing unionization to be a little more viable, or third parties, and that could allow us to do much more meaningful work.
20 minutes into an hour and a half long conversation. So far, very amicable, right? We'll go ahead to 45 minutes.
Spreading correct information about these movements, talking about why they're doing what they're doing, what experience they have undergone, why their cause appropriately secondary, which would be more devices. This is the most important one, I think, for the United States. The developments of particularly military aggression of these nations, so on and on. And then the final point, and this is kind of the fifth one. This is the one that is the most difficult. The Red Army faction disrupt ammunition production, or they would outright how to materially support third world movements.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of those points. I think, in fact, I'd add to that. I think so realistically speaking, in America right now, there's no real way to disrupt the production of any like militaristic resources, because, well, I guess it's possible, but I feel like people get arrested real quick, real quick, and not be able to do much harm. But I agree principally. If there's anything we could do to sabotage those forces, I would agree with it. Yeah, it's just a matter of like how to practically get it done. What I think would actually be really, really important is if we could form international workers, I guess, aid missions. Imagine, for example, in Iraq.
We'll just go ahead.
But the thing that you mentioned, I think it's a bit of both. It has been blown out of proportion, because in my real life experience, I have not seen this that much. And on the online left too, and I'm part of Marxist-Leninist spaces, I see it rarely. But there is, again, the bringing back to the vocal minority, there is a group of people that care too much about the aesthetics. And this is the thing. I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's a guy named Umberto Eco. He wrote a very short work titled Ur-Fascism.
I'm a big fan.
Now, oh, really? Fantastic. But basically, just to give a general gist for people who are...
And then I, earlier today, saw somebody shit-talking Umberto Eco because they didn't think he had a correct list for fascism. And it's like, that's what he studied, was fascism. Like, he studied what are the what are the core tenets, how do you identify it, etc., etc. Like that is his his work. So I'm just showing you this to show that like it doesn't.
Lovely. I'm very flexible, I guess, with means or methods, which is why it frustrates me so much. It seems like some people are very, very, very orthodox with how they approach like engagement. You said you believe that the dichotomy between reform and revolution is silly and exclusionary, and I agree completely. There are a lot of people online who believe only one of those things is valid. People who think that only revolution is good and that all reform is like conciliatory, I think that's very dumb and short-sighted. And people who think that only reform is worthwhile, I mean, we call them soakdems, don't we? So it's the synthesis between these two things and the aesthetics that work that allow us to make meaningful change. And that's what I'd like to focus on most, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah. So just the general, I guess, summation of that point is yes, aesthetics can be useful, but you shouldn't overdo it, and you shouldn't take baggage from other sorts of aesthetics. And also, the point you made about yeah, to call it super capitalism, as funny as that is, although I understand the sentiment, I also do understand that just generally, at least from my personal experience with Americans who are not socialists, I think anything that may be loosely lefty, even if you call it super capitalism, they're going to start calling you a communist. But I understand the sentiment generally, and I do agree with it. And the final point being that just generally, when approaching leftism as a whole, you should never take it as a dogma. And that even though generally we understand that, both you and I understand that reformism generally, for the most part, is a dead end, usually, especially in the imperial core countries. That doesn't mean that it doesn't have its uses, depending on material conditions. And we can also see that.
And they just amicably talk and end the convo, like, the entire way. And then Hakeem goes to, humiliating Vosh again. He's still wrong about, well, everything, even though they agreed on every point here. So, I don't know. But he didn't post this conversation. So, because this is not him talking to Vosh.
At this point, I would like to take note of the fact that I recognize many of these quotes are taken from larger bodies of work. I read those large.
Yeah, and I've actually read the text as well. And the thing is the underlying logic supports Vosh's argument. But yeah, he comes off very amicably there. Anyways.
Video, because I believe it's important that we on the left hold each other accountable, especially when one of our own refuses that accountability. For those of you crying that Bo has come redeemed, he's doing a lot of good for the left.
A lot of good?
The first thing,
wait, is this a pre-recorded video or was this on stream? This is so sloppy.
We must wrestle with is that for redemption and forgiveness to happen, one must show contrition. One must show remorse. One must show transparency and honesty. Bo has done none of those things. He continues to misrepresent what he did and why and who he was. And that is not acceptable for us on the left. What worries me most is that his voice is being advanced over others.
Okay.
While he has personally profited from the exploitation of recent immigrants in some of the most vile ways you can exploit someone.
Okay, so I acknowledge this is my saying. Okay, all right, ready? I acknowledge that Mike's production quality is garbage. That Mike here looks like a scary, greasy murderer, and that Mike does not have the greatest track record of honesty. Okay. So, with that out of the way, I just want to, this is the thing. I want to get my insults out of the way at the beginning, okay?
Mike is garbage. Mike should annex some fucking drip. Garbo. There's literally no way to avoid. I don't know what they're talking about. Okay, now Mike needs to follow the fuck through on these claims. Mike is Garbo. I will murder you, Mike.
Because just because Mike looks like he's going to kill all of us.
His awkward long pauses give me such Caleb Maupin vibes.
Us by wrapping his sweaty hands around our necks.
He
Yes,
looks
he
like
does look like
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. Even though he looks like a recently deceased corpse, it is actually possible, and I mean this unironically, it is actually possible that he has something here, okay? So, hold on. Listen, Gayfesh, I know it's mean, but everyone was going to be saying this. So I want everyone to get it out of their system now, laugh now, and then let's try and hear him out, okay? Let's try and hear him out. He does look like a deep fake of himself. Yes, that's true. I agree. Okay. All right, we will look at this. We will look at the LA Times thing. We'll take a look. Don't worry, we're doing the investigation. You all here get to see the level of quality that I always do. You know that I do this. You know that I always do a deep investigation. And even though I'm a catty bitch sometimes, and I do think that Mike looks like the recently embalmed, even though he looks like he could be the Scranton Strangler from PA, from Scranton, PA, even though he looks...
Wait, is that why Mike is so confident? Like he's making fun of Vosh for like not being able to fight, and Vosh is like, I boxed for 8 years, buddy. And then he was still confident in saying that he could slap Vosh around and could beat him up and push him over with a feather, and it was very weird. I don't know where he gets this confidence from.
Like Dwight Schrute's fucking estranged cousin, okay? He might be onto something. Somebody's looks are not... Hey, Yuffie, good to see you. Somebody's looks are not a good reason to discount their story. So, let's find out what Mike has to say, okay? We got it out of our system, okay? We got it out of our system. Mike Schrute. He looks like Ramsey Bolton's younger brother. Yes, they would call him, what, there was, Reek. Well, this is Grease. Okay? There we go. That's he looks like, yeah, he looks like the son of Creed and Dwight Schrute. All right. Let's give it a halt. All right, everybody, from here on out, let's listen and let's hear it out, okay? I'm goofing on him because I do kind of think Mike is a silly person, but there might be some legitimacy to what he's saying, okay? So we're done now. From here on out, we're going to try and be fair to his story, okay? I'm so sorry, Vermin. Fair to his story,
What did
okay?
Vermin say? Where is it? The Ramsey comment made me exhale, laugh into my bong, and almost burn myself with the fucking weed flying out.
I'm so sorry, Vermin.
Yeah, that's good. Nux Taku? What? Damn, Nux. Yeah, he fucking does. Talking about Bad Bunny. Just shits all over Bad Bunny. I was listening to Dylan Burns talk to him earlier. I'm so tempted because Vegapunk, Judge, Queen, like, y'all. What? Yeah, and see, he talks to so many people. Is there more? Is there more than just that? 'Cause I need to know. What?
Class reductionism is bullshit. I stand firmly against class reductionism, and if I find people who are fucking espousing this rhetoric, I am going to come down hard on it. That's a warning. You all can cite this stream in the future.
I don't know if she's going to define what class reductionism is. So if she doesn't, then I will.
Because here's the deal. I want all of you, if we're gonna fucking do this thing, I want all of us to do it together. I don't want a fucking future where all of my friends who aren't exactly like me don't get the benefits of what I'm fighting for. I'd just rather give up now. I'd just rather fucking say fuck it. And I'm sorry, maybe that sounds like you don't like it, but guess what? I don't want to die in a ditch alongside people who are slightly different than the status quo. And I know how these fucking stupid, reactionary, white-centric movements go. I know how they go. We've seen it through history. Do you think that, do you think that it would have been nice to be trans or gay or Jewish in fucking Soviet Russia under Stalin? Fuck off. You know that's a lie. Every single person who sits out there, every single motherfucking stupid-ass tanky or Nazbol or class reductionist who says, well, actually, it was kind of okay for blah, blah, blah. No, it fucking wasn't, and you know it wasn't. You fucking know it wasn't. So fuck that shit. Get your head out of your ass, look to the future, and come up with a better motherfucking system than this stupid, idiotic, LARPy, I just want everybody to sign up for my issues because I'm too selfish to actually think about whether or not this movement is actually helping people who aren't me. Wah. And with that, talking about a fucking whiny bitch baby, we gotta talk about fucking Mike from PA.
Alright, not sure if that was a very clear explanation for everybody, but class reductionism is the idea that to be able to achieve like a socialist country or whatever, you have to set aside all of the social issues and focus on the class issues. This is bullshit because this will ultimately leave black people, anybody who is non-white, essentially. Let's put non-cis white men. This will harm all of them. Just what it is. Class reductionism is trash. That's why. The idea is currently, for a real leftist, that you have to interweave these things so that all voices are present and everybody's being treated well. We need to liberate all from oppression. That includes the social stigma of being, trans or being, even still in large portions of the world and even here in America, being gay. Like, it's stigmatized. It's still not fully accepted. And we have to change this.
Because, listen, I don't know Mike from PA, right? I don't know who he is as a person. But what I can say is that Mike from PA's advocacy online is stupid as motherfucking shit. Absolute dumb shit. And I'm going to show you why and exactly how. So let's listen. If you don't believe me, that Mike from PA is a stupid class reductionist dumb shit who has no right calling himself a lefty unless he fixes this fucking position, let me show you. Let me just show you real quick. Okay?
Wait.
Yeah. Yeah, Stalin was was Pogo. Is that Pogo? Pause champ? I can't remember which one that one is. Anyway, let's do it. Let me just get this video up for us, okay? Ready? We got a video to watch. We got a motherfucking video to watch.
In Philadelphia.
Weird,
So
this is footage.
Philadelphia. So
This is footage. Oops. This is footage from last night on Amy C3's stream. Amy C3 is really cool as far as I know. Everything that I've seen about Amy C3 has been really enjoyable. I like Amy a lot, and I will say that Amy seemed like she was a little.
Now, I hadn't actually planned on going over this. I I wanted to find a very specific video, but now I've got taken into a different area because if this title is true, which it seems like it will be, because people don't lie about Mike from PA when they're exposing his bullshit. But let's see what's going on.
Uncomfortable in this conversation, and she was doing her best to save Mike from cringing himself out completely. Well, was it from last night? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't from last night. Let's see. Can I see the dates? Where's the date? Is there a date? I don't see the date. Listen, it was from recently, okay? Amy's really based in all of my experience. Amy's really based. Okay? And Mike decided to plow through on her platform and talk about some dumb ass shit. So let's listen to it. Let's hear the dumb ass shit fresh, and then we'll talk about it. Let's go. Let's talk about it.
And honestly, I don't want to be a part of a movement that doesn't want me there anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, then I won't be there.
If there is hostility there and you don't feel like you belong, then you're going to feel that discomfort. And
the delusion that, we can, quote, liberate ourselves. I don't even know what the fuck that means, to be honest with you. Like, what, a population of 16% of this country is going to, like, what, take over? Like, what is the strategy here? The only strategy and the only thing that works is a class-based strategy.
We know what people
that
like
puts
Mike
class
use
first. There, I said it. I fucking said it. Class. You could almost say we could reduce the movement down to class,
right?
Because that's the only thing that unites people. Now, obviously, we don't want to uphold white supremacy or other bullshit. Obviously, destroying white supremacy is necessary to destroy capitalism.
Yeah, he just said it.
Protest capitalism.
Yeah.
But,
I just said it.
Like, come on, man. Keep your eye on the fucking ball.
I've been saying this from I mean, not to, like, go off the narrative entirely, but I've been saying this from the jump. Like, and we've seen some whispers that...
So, I've let this run for 3 minutes without pausing it. But let me just say, fuck you, Mike. Mike from PA, you are a coward. And I would love it, in fact, I would love to have a debate with you on this, because I know that you're just the kind of stupid, privileged moron who sits on Twitch in his fancy little chair and tells black people and trans people and people of color to stuff it so you can have your class reductionist movement that pushes your interests forward, and then you'll conveniently forget about us. I don't fucking hear you out here advocating hard for any of my rights, and I know that when push comes to shove, just like you said in this very tweet, in your own fucking words, we don't have time to think about these things when you're going up against fascism. We'll get...
That's bad. Oh my god. Yeah, Mike is not a leftist. No, he straight up just said it. Doesn't Mike duck out of debates? Mike is such a narcissistic prick. Honestly, yeah, fuck Mike. I have another thing that unites us. Being human beings. This guy clearly has no class. Oh, let's reduce reductionist. Who's Mike talking to? Amy C3. Mike just said the quiet part out loud. And damn, he just went and said the thing. Yeah.
Guess what? Yes, we motherfucking do. And if you don't, you're going to get to enjoy fascism. Because if you don't manage to unite all of the people in this country who are most motherfucking affected by this shit, you will be fighting a war alone.
God damn. Get him, Demon Mama. Get him.
If you even fight it at all. And let's be real, what's much more likely is that push comes to shove and fascism comes this way because people like you motherfucking ignored people like me, downplayed our issues, and then when it loses, you quietly forget all your leftist positions, all of your milquetoast anti-liberal positions, and you just blend right in with the fascists so you can ride out the other side while we die. Just like what happened in motherfucking Nazi Germany. So with all due respect, which is basically none, fuck yourself, Mike. Fuck yourself.
Absolutely.
And if you want to come on my show and talk about it sometime, great. If you want me to come on your show and talk about it so that you can, you know, selectively mute the mic like you usually do when you fucking argue with other people and then delete the VOD like the coward you are, go for it. I would love to have that conversation. Let's fucking do it. Because your style of movement is in direct opposition to what I view for the future. In fact, your style of movement is against what you purport to believe in.
Yep. Fuck Mike from PA. Jesus Christ. Okay. Just want...
She knows what she's doing. Notice how she does that. She's antagonizing the simps. She's basically riling up all of her simps with this hand gesture.
Buy for the content that you're watching. Because it's like people just really really don't respect me as a content creator.
Never talk to Bad Bunny. If you're watching this and you're like, hey, I want to stream, you know, I'm gonna stream. Learn my lesson. Learn my lesson, okay? Learn my lesson.
Well, of course they don't. Why the fuck would they? And then the simps come to the rescue.
She's an attractive woman.
Oh,
who didn't
for
act like a nice
fuck's
person.
sake! Did you say
Which is
attractive?
what makes sexually frustrated incels angry.
You notice the lack of eye contact, the lack of confidence, the slouchy posture. That's all. Hit all 3 simp marks right
I hit
there.
all the simp marks.
I'm getting your attention. I feel like I touched like.
Oh, God. I don't want this. I just want... That's not what I want. Yes, it was downright malicious. Mike from PA does not give a fuck about you. He doesn't give a fuck about anyone but himself. He wants to grow himself. I don't know why the fuck Hassan and Lance deal with Mike. Do they just not watch his stream?
That's okay. Hold on.
You
hold on.
don't know anything about politics. It's embarrassing. I'm talking to you.
No, it's okay.
Wait, what is this?
Who I want or who's gonna win?
Who you think is gonna win?
Fuck. I think Biden.
Gun pointed to your head. You have to pick one.
Who I want or who's gonna win?
Who you think is gonna win?
What an idiot! Fuck.
What an idiot! What a stupid fuckhead! What a moron! What a dipshit! Good one! Hey, and you can't say he wasn't informed, because 2 months ago I told him for 3 hours why Bernie was gonna beat Biden. So, it's not like he hadn't heard the arguments, he just has bad judgment. One more time, for the people in the back. Does anyone have, can anyone have, like, okay, hold on, we need some Curb Your Enthusiasm music, hold on, we're gonna do this one more time.
Mike has absolutely the worst political instincts I've ever seen. Once Biden started going, I pushed for Bernie, but I thought Biden would win. I have no idea who this person is. The meme analysis from Mike versus Vosh. Oh my god. What's a tiff is the greatest fucking thing ever. Vosh has even said he will never learn what a tiff is because it's too funny for him not to know. He will lose the debate over the granular aspects of finance shit in a city just because he doesn't know what a tiff is. Oh my god. Mike from PA is wrong. What? The Mike from PA, what? Oh my god. Yeah. As soon as he gets caught in a lie or whatever, that's how he does it. What? What?
Hi, I'm Mike from PA, and I'm here to give you a PSA. Now, you might remember me as the guy who has terrible backgrounds, horrible camera work, and that one time I touched a girl without consent. Oh, and I also punched a couch. But we're just going to ignore all those things. I'm just here to tell you about Vosh. Now, some of you may claim that I have VDS, whatever that might be. But I'm here to tell you it's not true. Now, did you know that Vosh has done charity work, and as a leftist, let me tell you, I'm a leftist, and as a leftist, I find that highly problematic because
Because he has to do that all the time and plug his own stream and shit. It's pathetic. By the way, I have a friend coming over because he needs to roll up a character for my new D&D session that we're doing. So I will be ending the stream shortly, and then yeah, that's probably about it. I don't even know how long I've fucking gone. 8 hour and 37 minutes. This may be the shortest stream I've done in a little while. But don't worry, tomorrow's Friday, and Friday. Well, I do have to go to work tomorrow so that I can cover some shit, but like I gotta clean up some stuff. But yeah, whatever. It's no big deal. I'll clean up the warehouse, be there for a couple of hours, come back, and then stream. So I can stream tomorrow, and then Saturday I can stream after I get back, and then yeah.
Because he's getting money to give something to something else. And from that, he might make a little money himself. Now, I'm here to tell you that is extremely bad. As a leftist, that should not happen. I should be getting them. I mean, my channel should be getting. Let me start over.
As a leftist, I should be getting that. Mike from PA. A leftist critique of charity streams on Twitch. No, Mike. You are cringe as fuck. Holy shit. Look at this. Okay, how many subs does Mike from PA have?
Good. How am I coming?
Fuck off. You failed. You have 8,000 views on this. It's a year old. You only have 6,000 subscribers on here, which I mean is more than me. Let's face it. It is. But let's go to Social Blade. Let's go back to Central Committee. Let's bring this over here and let's look at this. He has views. This is followers. Okay. He dumped 7K followers. He had just gained 8K, then dumped 7K. So he has he doesn't have a game rank or anything. But what are his okay, so his follower count? 44,306. But none of them can bother to come over here and sub. Why is that? Well, because Mike gets gifted subs from a couple of Oilers, and people just hand it out, so people will just be subbed or follow. Like, that's not a real grassroots base. Mine is a grassroots base. Anyone who subbed here did it because they wanted to. He knows it's all what? He knows it's all power structures. Okay. I have no idea how I'm gonna find this. What? Populism. Nope, it's fascism. Oh, yeah. The right-wing populism, not a thing. It's fascism. Because it's selective. Yeah, Nicole is really fucking entitled. Wait, what?
Hey folks, I hope you're all doing well. I wanted to talk with y'all real quick about something I saw yesterday on Twitch that really disturbed me. In fact, I'd have to say it was the most disgusting and racist thing I've ever seen on the platform, and that's really saying something. I'd like to start by telling you about a man by the name of Chen Guangchang, born in a poor Chinese village in Shandong province. He lost his sight 6 months into his life due to a fever that destroyed his optical nerves. His family had a hard-scrabble life. He was the youngest of 5 children. He developed an early interest in the law. He asked his brothers to read him legal texts as he grew up, and developed a real interest in the cause of justice. He became what they call in China a barefoot lawyer. That is to say, a self-taught lawyer who often takes on cases that more established attorneys are just not willing to take for fear of reprisal by the Chinese Communist Party. So during his legal career, he fought discrimination against the poor, the disabled, and against women. And he fought against the one-child policy as it was applied in China. And that last one is of particular note.
Wow.
In 2005, he filed a class action lawsuit against communist officials in his home province of Shandong. He charged them with abuses under the one-child policy, in particular forced abortions and forced sterilizations, which were rampant during the period of the one-child policy and which continue to this day with respect to other human rights abuses in China. For example, the genocide against the Uyghur people going on in China as we speak has as one of its components a comprehensive program of forced abortions. Well, Chen stood up against that. And in filing that class action lawsuit, he brought down the wrath of the Chinese Communist Party. In fact, the following is a narrative from his wife telling the tale of the event. On February 18, 2011, led by the vice secretary of the local Communist Party, a group of men stormed through our home gate. They beat and tortured my husband and myself for more than 2 hours. Without showing any legal documents and without any of them wearing a uniform, they plundered almost everything from our home. My husband and I were wounded severely and not allowed to leave the home for any medical aid. More than 10 men covered me totally with a blanket and kicked my ribs and all over my body. After half an hour's non-stop torture, I finally squeezed my head out of the blanket and I saw more than 10 men surrounding my husband, torturing him. Some of them twisted his arms forcefully, while the others pushed his head down and lifted his collar up tightly. Given his poor health condition, he was not able to resist and passed out after more than 2 hours of brutal torture. Chen and his wife faced some of the most brutal torture that anyone can imagine. Chen was put under house arrest after...
Nah, that's not as brutal as I could imagine, I promise you. There's way worse shit in movies that I've seen than just that. But that is bad. It's definitely fucked up.
After imprisonment, and bravely defeated the odds, broke out of his house arrest, and found refuge at the American Embassy in 2012, where, thanks to the United States government, Chen was eventually able to work out a deal where he was able to come to the United States and bring his family with him and escape the clutches of the Chinese Communist Party that had done so much to torture him and his family. 8 years later...
Okay, well, what is the issue?
When Chen got up to speak before the Republican National Convention, Hassan could barely conceal his thinly veiled laughter. After a few seconds, he got up, left his community to their own devices, and they certainly followed his lead. While a couple of them, in vain, tried to convince the rest of the community to do a little bit better and to stop laughing, most of them joined in on it. assuming that the man was faking his accent, laughing at the way he talked, mocking him for reading Braille, mocking his story, calling him a robot with a script error, comparing him to Clayton Bigsby, but Asian, calling him a Chinese Uncle Ruckus, calling him a Chinese Uncle Tom. On top of that, there were other disgusting comments about how he was blind to racism, how he was faking it, how he needed to spit it out, spit it out, spit it out. So he did his best to translate from Braille to Chinese and from Chinese to English in front of a national audience. Other racist comments making fun of the way he talked, accusing him of being a paid actor, calling him a Chinese traitor, calling him a fascist. And then, when Hassan's community hit absolute rock bottom, one man repeatedly asked that this fucking traitor be gulagged.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yep, that does need to be addressed, Hassan.